Hi everyone, and welcome to Notes to Share. I'm joined today by Georgie, who is a singer-songwriter from South Yorkshire studying at Leeds Conservatoire, and we're going to talk a bit today about her musical experiences and things. So the first thing is tell us 3 facts about you so that people get to know who you are.
I found this really hard to figure out 3 facts about myself. Like, you never talk about 3 facts about yourself. So I came up with 3 really basic ones. I love Harry Potter. That's could watch it every day and never get bored ever. It's my favourite thing. Vegetarian.
Me
It's a bit
too.
boring. Hey, and I love the Libertines, which are a band. They're really good. They're a bit weird, but they're good. Went to see them and I cried a lot.
So tell us what instruments you play and how your journey with music started.
I play piano and guitar, mainly guitar. But I played piano since I was about 8. I can't really remember when I started playing, but we just had one in the house and we started playing it. Guitar, I don't remember my age, but it was in year 6 I started playing guitar. But I remember hating it. We got like 3 lessons or something, and I remember hating it because I didn't like the guitar teacher.
When did that change then, do you know?
I was about 13 and my dad played guitar. Like, I don't remember a time he didn't play it. So I just started copying him, but playing songs that I liked.
So it was really that you taught yourself after you'd had those lessons rather than you learned from the lessons?
I think it was like a couple of weeks of lessons. I don't remember much of them. I just remember hating it.
So what are your favourite things about being a musician? Why do you do music?
I like writing songs. I like being creative. I like hearing what people think about the things that you write and make. If they're like, oh, this is really good, or oh, this is shit, why have you done that? Either way, either's fine, but it's nice to hear what other people think about it, and it's just a way of getting self-expression and all that.
Yeah. You did A-level music and music tech, didn't you? So with that, why did you choose to just focus on music rather than doing something else as well, and what made you decide that music was what you wanted to do generally?
When I was picking my A-levels, I pretty much already knew that I wanted to do music, and that after A-levels I wanted to do music. Like, I'd been writing and playing my own songs in like all the school assemblies and everything, and like playing at open mic nights and stuff. So it was pretty easy picking that, like knowing that I wanted to do music.
Yeah.
But I ended up loving music tech and hating music A-level. I couldn't stand it. I did alright in it, but it didn't relate to the things I was interested in. It was very classical based, which was really good for everyone else. But I think, apart from the jazz, I liked the jazz, but it didn't suit what I wanted to do with it. So I ended up also hating that.
I didn't do music A-level. I did maths and chemistry and then further maths. So I came into like deciding I wanted to do music. I sort of knew I wanted to do it at A-level, to be honest, but they couldn't schedule it in my timetable. So I was like, well, it doesn't matter because I'm going to go and do maths anyway, which obviously isn't what's happening. So yeah, I came into music like separately, and then I was like, oh, I need A-level to do it anywhere. But the conservatoire, some of them were like, oh, if you get grade 6 theory, we'll let you in. If you get grade 8 theory, we'll let you in. Like, right, music theory, time to do that then. Because most people do grade 5 and don't go any further. But so yeah, I did grade 8 in March.
Oh wow. I did grade 5 to do my singing and my piano and stuff, because my college offered like to do grades for that. So I
Yeah.
did grade 5 theory, and even that was like awful.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, it's like the alto clef and stuff, isn't it? But I feel like that's more useful from my side because obviously viola uses alto. So if as a violinist, if I ever want to pick up the viola, I can read the clef now. So for me, it's quite handy. And to be honest, I did
Yeah.
have a viola for a bit, so I sort of used that to help me learn the clef in a way as well.
Yeah, as much as I hated it, it has helped me like with writing songs at uni.
Yeah.
Like I can just write for like a clarinet and then just find someone with a clarinet. Like it's really handy for being able to like force people to do things.
Yeah, I've actually found the same. I've found the same with like grade 8 theory as well. 'Cause I do a lot of like orchestral style composition sort of thing, and grade 8's like basically you do this thing called figured bass, which Bach used to use a lot. And I don't ever compose for Bach, but learning like the systems, if you like, that Bach used.
Yeah, we did that at A level, the figured bass thing.
Yeah, so like learning about that sort of like helped with learning chord progressions, because obviously you know like standard chord progressions,
Yeah.
but yeah, learning like other chord progressions, like there's some like wacky chords, like Neapolitan sixths, a really cool chord that people don't use. But like I had to learn that for the higher grades of music theory, and obviously learning that, I feel like learning that sort of thing has helped me to go, oh, I can modulate from C to F using this wacky chord progression and it will sound really great, whereas like, I couldn't do it as easily before.
Yeah, it is transferable. It's just awful when you have to do it.
Yeah,
The skills are really good, but
yeah,
I think when you're forced to do it in an exam, it's awful.
Yeah. Let's talk about university and how that's going. Your favourite things about the course and university life in general, how that is.
Hey guys, so I thought I'd just jump in here to explain the next bit we talked about because I thought it was a bit confusing, so I thought I'd explain it instead of what we talked about. Because we didn't know ourselves to start off with. So Georgie's course at Leeds College of Music is a BMUs in songwriting. It's a 3-year course, but she could do an extra year before she starts that 3 years called foundation year. So her course has like become a 4-year course because she chose to do that year. My course at Royal Welsh that I'm just about to start is a 4-year course, so we have to do that foundation year for my course. The foundation year is just pass or fail, and then you continue with the course. So then you've got 3 years where the marks do affect the final grade. There's also another kind of foundation year course that you can do. I know Trinity Laban does this extra foundation year. This is a separate course, so you can do a foundation, I can't remember what it's called, a foundation degree course. I'll check and I'll write it in on top. So if you were to pick to do that one, that's separate, and then you still have to re-audition to do the 3 or 4 year music course, the bachelor's. Yeah, so Trinity does this foundation year. I think some other places probably do as well. And then that's before you go on to do your bachelor course. I think this makes more sense than what we talked about did, but I'll probably leave some bits from our discussion in. I'll insert them around this. Yeah, hopefully that makes more sense.
So were you in like accommodation, like halls for the foundation year, or?
No, because I live in Barnsley, it's like
Yeah.
a half an hour train ride.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway, but usually you can live in halls.
Are you going to stay at home for the rest of your course as well then, or?
Probably, at least for this year.
Yeah.
Just because it's a bit cheaper.
Yeah, definitely. So how was the application process? Did you just apply to Leeds or did you apply to others as well?
I applied to others, but Leeds was my first choice anyway. After visiting a couple, I think it was originally I wanted to go to Nottingham to do music tech,
Okay.
because there weren't a lot of songwriting courses when I was looking. I think
Yeah.
there's been a few more that have started now, but there was like this one in Leeds, and then there was one in London. Is it London College of Music? There was a songwriting course there, and I just thought I would not be able to afford to live in London. Like,
So expensive, isn't it?
yeah. So it was pretty much this one, and it's one of the best courses I ever, like, when we were looking and all the open days and stuff.
Yeah.
It was the best one I'd seen, like, for me. It was so exciting, like, looking at everyone, and they were all like proper musicians doing all these gigs and stuff. It was really, after being on the music A level and feeling really like out of touch with what I thought music was
Yeah.
in like educational like spheres. It was really cool to see people like play music that I'd want to listen to and I'd want to play,
Yeah.
which was cool.
That's the performance aspect's why I've chosen to do conservatoire rather than general music, because I feel like you're never going to get sort of the teaching experience, like you're never going to get that chance to get that much one-to-one tuition or group performance tuition that you are while you're on a university course, obviously. And there's so much more at conservatoire because it's performance based, and I figured, to be honest, you can still learn the history of music in the parts of the history of music you're interested in, and all the theory that you need to know. You can learn that stuff yourself because it's all accessible online and everything. It's the actual hands-on performance experience music that you need, I feel like, more. So that's why I decided to do conservatoire.
I think they are a lot better for musicians that want to like be musicians and not study music.
Yeah. I mean, I do love theory and stuff, and I love composing and stuff as well, but I feel like doing something performance based makes you a lot more versatile because you can still learn all of the other stuff yourself, but you've got that much extra time that's spent actually learning how to play your instrument really well. What was it like having your uni course online, because obviously it's a performance based uni course? And obviously it's still going to be online, I'm guessing. Ours is going to be online a bit. We're having lectures online, and then anything performance we're having in college.
Well, ours is starting back, like we go back in September.
Yeah, we do too.
From what I've heard and all the emails I've received, we're just going back as normal.
Are you?
Yeah, it is quite a small conservatoire though. It's very little people there. Just the spaces are just, all the courses are all quite small. So I imagine it'll be easier than other unis and other conservatoires to socially distance and stuff, but they've not really said anything about like doing anything online or anything. So
we had a like introduction to the course thing over Zoom. Obviously because of COVID they started it, but I think they're going to carry on doing them now because they thought it was quite good doing it, to talk about like how they thought it was going to play out to us. I think it was in July we had it, and they were saying that they're expecting to have no more than 25% of the cohort in at once across all years, but to have all lessons in the building, like actual music lessons, and all like quartet rehearsals and stuff should be able to go in there, and we should be able to book the practice rooms, but they're expecting that we won't have like the say theory lessons will be over Zoom or whatever, because to be honest you don't need to do those face to face, so it'll help to reduce the number of people in. And they were talking about having bubbles with your flats and maybe between a few flats. But I'm not sure how that's working because my flat's all student students because of it. So I don't know. But not all the flats are from specific departments apparently either.
it might be that when I go like on induction, they'll tell us that there are a few classes that they're just going to do at home.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, for me, someone that's commuting,
Yeah.
that's going to be better anyway. Like, if there's any classes that I can do sat in my bed, then I'd prefer to do that.
Definitely.
But it's been really different doing it all online, doing it all on Zoom. It's very like, it tests your willpower, definitely.
Yeah.
When, like, because I don't have a desk or anything, I just do everything like sat on my bed. And when you've got a 9 a.m. Zoom call and you're laid in bed, yeah, it's a lot of willpower to go, no, I do need to do this, like, this is important.
Yeah.
Rather than just message a teacher saying, busy, sorry.
So with your course, is it is your course a lot of performance, or was it always quite a bit of theory stuff as well? How much has like the performance stuff been impacted for your actual course? Because I get why performing with other people, obviously that's going to be impacted, but it's like for your actual course, how much is that part?
See, for mine, because I'm doing songwriting,
Yeah.
a lot of the performance was replaced with composition, because we'd be performing our own songs anyway.
Yeah.
So we just did like more compositions to like different briefs and stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't massively affected, but obviously it's harder to record at home with your at-home like equipment.
And I guess you can't get other instruments in it as easily unless you do it as like an online thing, like through Musical or whatever, which the sounds on Musical aren't the best things in the world.
No, and it's also not very equal, because I've bought all my own equipment for recording, because I record all my songs anyway. So I was fairly lucky that for a lot of the briefs I was set, like, there wasn't much else that I needed. There would have been things that if I was at uni that I would have wanted to use. Like, I'd have wanted to use real life musicians, but I was alright. But for people who don't have like a laptop or Logic, or who haven't bought themselves those things, like, I don't understand. It must have been quite difficult for them, and I'm sure the uni accommodated for them, because you could record things like on your phone and stuff, but
it's still different.
That feels like an unfair comparison.
So we need to talk about Spotify, because that's very cool.
I just sort of started researching about it and finding out like how people use Spotify.
Did you produce like the track yourself then, if you don't use it?
Oh yeah, I write and produce and mix everything on my own. And I just thought I was doing all this work on these songs, and I was like, well, I have to put them somewhere. I can't, even if they're not like perfect, like finished amazing pieces, I can't not put them somewhere. It'd be a waste and a shame to not put them on something. So,
and also, if you don't put them anywhere, then it's not going to be found by anyone, because it's not there.
Exactly.
And obviously you want to have that, don't you? I was having a look, actually. I was interested in like how it all works, getting things on Spotify, and it was like you basically either have to have like an agent who puts it on, or you have to like sign up through a website to get on there. So I'm just wondering how you
that's what I did. I signed up for DistroKid, and that it's really good. It puts that track on pretty much every website.
That's cool.
So it's Apple, Google.
That's cool.
It's everything. It's really cool, and it's really helpful. I think it's like 20 quid a year. And you can put as many on as you want.
So it's 20 quid a year, but you can do like multiple tracks.
Yeah, you could put.
So you could do a whole album for 20 quid.
Yeah.
Wow, that is cool.
Keep your chin up, love. Your frown is such a shame. grass on the other side. Well, it seemed better days. Keep your chin up low. Every day is gonna fade, and all those silver linings, oh, still chuck it down with rain. It's still a lovely little phrase. Dum da dum, da 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 dum da da da.
So if you want to see more of that from Georgie, there'll be a card up on this side with that video link. I'll also link her channel and that video down below, and all her other links will be in the description box as well for Spotify and things.
So what are your goals in music for the next year or the future as well, I guess?
Like short-term goal would be just to like keep writing, I want to improve on my writing, and
Yeah.
like obviously when we can go back to uni and we're not in semi-lockdown, whatever this is.
I don't know.
It's not lockdown anymore, but it's not,
is it?
freedom.
Although I'm going to a gig on Friday.
Are you?
Yeah, locally, and they're doing like these. It's really cool, actually. They're doing these like circles. I think they're 3 meters big, and like they've got 2 meters or 3 meters distance between them. I'm not sure. And you can put 6 people in a circle, from like 2 households. Obviously, because you've got just about enough space distance from the other household or whatever. Yeah, so you can put 6 people in the circle and watch the gig, and yeah, my friends are playing and I'm really excited.
That's really cool. I've not heard of anything like that around here.
That's I mean, that's the only thing I know of, and there was like the massive gigs that the BBC was showing as well, saying they were the first ones.
Yeah,
These
with
are
the little squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, when I get back to uni, I'd want to like work with some people, some different musicians, different producers and things, because I've not really done that yet. I took this year to sort of like my foundation year to teach myself how to do things, and now that I feel like I've got an okay understanding of it, like how production and how everything works, I think I'd like to work with other people now. But long-term goals, I'd love to like start playing at like festivals and things, and
yeah.
I'm in the process of like making demos to send to people to start putting a band together to play my songs. So that'd be really cool if I could in the next couple of years be playing at festivals and stuff.
Yeah,
That'd be
definitely.
brilliant.
Right, so the next ones are the weirdest questions I have ever sent anyone. But they're just questions that I'm gonna just ask everyone, so I know what I'd answer personally. But so the first one is, if you could meet 3 people dead or alive, who would they be and why? So possibly like 3 musicians, or if there's like anyone else that you'd love to meet as well, you know.
It's a really cruel question.
It so is, isn't it? It feels like a like audition question. It's the kind of thing they'd ask you.
Yeah, and like there's no right answer, but you feel like there is.
Yeah. No, I'd meet Frida Kahlo, honestly. And Dodo.
Oh yeah,
Dodo.
like, she isn't on my list, but actually
Dodo's
I'd
my
love
number
to meet
1 on
her.
my list.
I
Every
feel like I
time.
couldn't put her on my list because I might have the chance of meeting her.
Really?
Like she's still alive and she's still
Yeah.
young, so
Yeah.
therefore she can't be on my list.
Is that
like,
how it works now?
that's what I took it as.
Dodo can't be on
Like,
my
there's
list
a
because
chance
she's
I'm
alive
gonna
and
meet
young,
her.
and there's a chance I'm gonna meet her. That's okay.
If I stalk her enough.
Yeah, so who are your 3 people?
Oh yeah, we just went on about Dodie for a bit. My 3 people are Alex Turner from Arctic Monkeys, David Bowie, so that's quite a staple one, and Noel Gallagher, just because I want to find out like if he actually did just sit and write all those like best-selling songs like in his room stoned, or if that's like a marketing scheme that they did. Because it's quite a romantic story, like just some kid writing in his room.
Yeah.
And then they're all bestsellers. I want to know if that's true. I don't trust him.
Although Dodie writes all hers in her room and she's going to be a bestseller. I feel like she is, but she's not. People haven't heard of her and I'm like, how? Should be.
Yeah,
famous.
and then she's been on like radio a few times. And
Yeah.
she's like at breaking, you know, like breaking into
She's
the,
so close to like being up there. But
I hope she does. I hope she blows up, and then I hope everyone takes, what am I trying to say? Takes like influence from her. Like you don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. Just do whatever you want.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like talking about her style is quite an interesting topic though, because I don't know, it's talking about what you want to be as an artist, if you like. So I feel like it's quite a cool topic.
I feel like a lot of young girls trying to be on the internet now are influenced, like be musicians on the internet, especially on YouTube.
Yeah.
We are all influenced by her a little bit, whether people want to
Definitely.
admit it or not.
Definitely. Like it's like I went into that group, I'm like, oh, here's a Dodie cover, and then I'm like, oh, you're doing a Dodie cover, and you're doing a Dodie cover,
Yeah,
and everyone likes Dodie.
we all love her. She has influenced a whole like generation of people that want to start doing music, especially on the internet.
She's influenced
Sorry.
us all, but I feel like we've taken different parts of her as well.
Yeah. Well, not even like influenced like people's music, but just influenced like you
Doing
can
it
actually
online.
just do it. Yeah. You
And
don't
you
need
can
to
get
be like
somewhere.
worried what people think.
You can
Yeah.
get somewhere from doing it online and literally ignore people who say you can't and
Yeah.
just keep doing it. And like you can see how much she's improved over the years online as well. And I think it's nice having that to look at. Like the progress of how you've improved. So I have some horrendous things from when I was 14 that I have most definitely blocked off.
Yeah.
But they're still there for me to look back at, which I think that's quite nice as well. If I ever got anywhere, I'd be like, this is how awful I was 10 years ago. You know?
Yeah. Have you heard of the like 100 video rule?
But
Like,
I'm not sure.
after you post 100 videos, YouTube will start pushing out your videos.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why starting's the hardest bit.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
once
after
you've got 100 up, even if they're hidden.
No, they've got to have
They've got
had
to be
like
public.
watch time. Yeah.
But if they've got some watch time, but they've been made private.
I think I'm not sure if that affects it, but I've seen lots and lots of creators, especially like people who talk about music business and stuff on YouTube. They always go on about like the 100 video rule, and like once you pass 100 videos, they'll start pushing you out more.
For music, it does sort of make sense though, because if you think about it, it's what 4 minutes of video is probably really your top. Some videos will be more like 2 minutes if it's like half a song, whatever. And if you're aiming for 4,000 watch hours, that's still 4 minutes of video. It's 400 minutes of content you've got up. So you're going to need a hell of a lot of people watching that 400 minutes of content to be
it might be
it does make sense that it's I can't do the maths without a calculator, so I'm not going to do it, but it does sort of make sense because it's 4 minute long videos, so that's still only 400 minutes of content, which isn't actually that much in the YouTube world where you need 400 hours 4,000 hours to get anywhere, you know.
It is difficult, but then what does it mean by YouTube will push your videos? Like, does that just mean to like 2 people?
It means they're more likely to pop up as suggestions, but I don't know if that's suggestions to your subscribers or suggestions in general.
Yeah, well, all the people I'm subscribed to, they always pop up. Like, all my friends who do music pop up, you pop up, which is good for like supporting your friends, because I never go on my
Yeah.
subscription list. So that's
Yeah.
really good.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's learning about the like YouTube and how it works is really weird.
Yeah, and it's changed a lot as well, because I put my first video up when I was about 14, 15. It was shocking, but that's still like 5 years ago. It's changed a lot since then as well, because the watch hours thing just wasn't a thing at the time, and it was supposed to help smaller channels, but I feel like it probably helps it probably helps the channels at about 2,000 subscribers a lot more than anyone at about 1,000, and we're in the hundreds. So it is just, as you gain subs, they're going to push your content out more if the subs come back and watch, I think.
Yeah, but it's really strange. Like some videos end up getting like 300, 400 watches, or like 100
And
odd
people don't
watches.
subscribe, which is why putting a subscribe reminder is so important. It feels so awkward to do as well. I feel like putting it in subtly is really important. Like, I don't want to be like, subscribe to my channel, because it just sounds a bit ridiculous. I think,
Yeah, I just didn't put it in, and I've made all the end screen things. I've got them ready, but I never put them in because it feels, especially when you're like you've just started.
yeah,
You've not got that many numbers to like back you up. It
yeah.
feels really like cringy to be like, please subscribe.
But I feel like it's something that if you do an outro to a video, like you're like, oh, so this was my cover of this and blah, 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 blah. You can go, you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like, I feel like that's appropriate.
Yeah.
If they've watched that far, then there's someone that clearly likes your content. That's what I like about end screens, though. You can pick what you've got as your, like, suggestions, or you can pick for it to be suggested as something that the viewer will like as well from your content.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing to have on when you're lower, but I might be wrong. But it feels to me, if someone's going to watch the end, then going, oh, here's something else that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah, it's a good idea. That.
Mm. And I quite like the pop-up things as well. Like, I found, like, normally I wouldn't use them, but as I've gotten more videos on my channel now, I feel like once you've got more content, there's quite a lot of things you can, maybe that's why as well, the 100 videos, once you've got 100 videos, you've got quite a lot of content that you can go, oh, the viewer might like this random bit of content, that could be what I put as a flash up for them.
Yeah.
That might be part of it.
Yeah, that probably does feed into it. Yeah, they've just got more to watch.
And also, if you've got the stuff in the side, if some content's done well, it's more likely to appear in the side bit after they've watched one video.
Yeah.
As a suggestion, anyway, so they're more likely to see the content. Yeah, it does sort of make sense that 100 videos is where you need to get to.
It's a big number, but
It is. I think I'm at 50.
it's achievable, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if you do a video a year, that's 50. I mean, a video a week for a year, you've got 50.
Yeah.
So that's 2 years, which actually quite often is. I feel like a lot of people do take about 2 years to get to 1,000. So it does sort of make sense.
Yeah, that does sound right.
It sounds about right. Like, I've taken a lot longer because I didn't do YouTube for 3 years. But yeah, if you do consistent uploads for 2 years, then you tend to get somewhere.
Yeah. I think, yeah, you usually hear people say like about 2-3 years in, they started to like see some growth.
Yeah, I feel like once you're starting to get people who actually enjoy your channel around like the 200 mark, it picks up a tiny bit. I feel like it's the first couple of hundred that are the absolute slowest.
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
people suggesting your content to their friends at all, or you're doing collabs or anything.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being how it works out.
Because it's like, it should be exponential, really.
And then it's weird seeing the videos that do better, like the ones that'll, like I've only got like 60 subscribers, but I'll have videos that have got like nearly 500 views. And it's weird to see, like, to try and figure out why they got what they got. Like,
Yeah.
was it the thumbnail?
Because
Was
there's
it like,
some that you're like, this video is going to do really well, and you get like 12 views.
yeah.
Like, where
Like,
did
was it
these?
the song?
What was
Was
that?
it-
What was wrong with it?
Was it the
Was it just I
thumbnail?
uploaded it at a bad time and no one saw it?
Yeah, even
Or
that
was
can
it
affect
I put it on Facebook and for some reason Facebook didn't promote it very well, that specific video. So then my friends on Facebook didn't even know it was there because the notification didn't pop up.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and some, like, you'll get loads of views on, or like loads considering like how small the channel is, and you'll think, I can't see how this is any different. Like, why
But then
did
it's
you click
interesting
on
look
it?
at watch time as well. Watch
Yeah.
time's really interesting.
Yeah, when people click off, you almost get like, what did I do at that point?
Those groups that are there to support YouTube, I feel like they're very, when they reply, they're very useful for thinking of ideas or talking about like which thumbnail is better, that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
I think, yeah, there is like a limit to it. It's link dropping just feels a bit pointless in those groups. But at the same time, if you don't link drop, no one's going to see your content because YouTube's so big.
Yeah.
But why is someone with 100 subscribers gonna be watched when there's someone with 1,000 subscribers doing the same thing, or with 100,000 subscribers? That's why I feel like you've got to link drop a bit, but I feel like there's ways of doing it that are better than others.
Yeah. I sort of do the same as you now. I'll like try and support each other as much as I can, but if I don't like someone's content, I'm not gonna subscribe just for the sake of it. And I don't like try and like force other people to either, because I'm like, if you don't like me, or you don't like my songs, or you think
At
I'm
the end of the
not
day,
good,
it's great. I can have a subscriber. That's one more to my next target of say 200. I don't really set targets because I think it's
yeah,
great. That's one more subscriber to 200. When I get to 1,000, are you still going to be following me if you don't like my content? So I'm not going to get
Exactly.
to 1,000 because my next 50 subscribers could all be people who are just subscribing for the sake of it. So when I get to 300, they might have all gone and I'll be back down to 250.
yeah. It's like
And
a double-edged sword.
when people unsubscribe, that doesn't help you either. That YouTube then goes, why are they unsubscribing? And sort of limits your content a bit. So you're better,
Yeah.
I reckon, you're better off just getting people who want to watch your content.
Yeah, it's really interesting talking to someone who's also at like the same level, because usually you only hear people talking about it when they're like 1,000 subscribers in, and they're like, oh, my channel's so small, and you're sat there like, no, it's not. It's not.
I feel like, you know, getting to 1,000, that's 1,000 people watching you. That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
And they might not
And it's
always be
different.
watching you. Some of them might have stopped watching you, but they've all watched your content at some point.
yeah, it's different to other social media as well, because like you can have 1,000 friends on Facebook or like 1,000 followers on Instagram, and
Yeah.
they might not interact with all of your posts, because people don't use YouTube the same way they'll use Instagram. Like, no one's sat scrolling through YouTube. People, like, you just watch people who you're genuinely interested in.
Yeah.
So to have like 1,000 people genuinely interested in what you're doing.
So the last
that's
question is, if you could only perform one more song or piece of music, what would it be?
such a hard question.
My friend suggested it and I was like, this is evil, I'm using it.
I don't know. I'd want to say, if it was one of my songs, then my last single, because
Yeah.
obviously that was my last one, so it's my favourite one at the minute. But I wrote down Perfect Day by Lou Reed, just because it's so chill but also sad. But there's so many, you can't just pick one.
That's what I thought.
You can't do that to people.
I feel like for me as well, I'm like, well, okay, I could pick a song. I could pick a whole entire symphony. Now that could be 45 minutes of music, so that's what I do. It's like, you know, there's that like, oh, if you knew you were gonna die, you had one song left and you die, what would you listen to? I'm like, I'd pick a whole entire symphony every time. But
See, I'd probably end up pressing shuffle so many times before my time was up and then never listening to a song. Like, I'm so indecisive. I could never do that. I could never just pick one song.
yeah, it's
So hard.
meanest question I've ever asked.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna freak out when you ask them that question.
Yeah,
They'll not know what to
that's
put.
why I'm gonna try and send them early.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching today's video with Georgie. It's been lovely having her on the show. All her links for her YouTube and Spotify and everything else will be in the description box down below. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe and comment anything down below. If you have any questions as well, then I'm sure Georgie can come into the comments and answer any as well. And I'll see you next week for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.